Industry Insider is only available at Promo Corner, the leader in digital marketing for the promotional products industry. Each Monday, they discuss, dissect, and debate a single issue impacting the world of promotional marketing from every industry perspective. Now, it's time for Promo Corner's Industry Insider.
Welcome to another edition of the Industry Insider, your promotional products podcast where you can get all the nerdy news you need to know about. My name is Jeff Franklin. I'm the National Accounts Manager with Headwear USA, and I'm joined today by three other lovely folks. But before we get to them, I want to talk to you today about our sponsor, the good folks over at Tervis. Yep, you know them. They've been around since 1946. That's a long time. So they started with their classic line. They've got sleek styles for the perfect, that make for perfect for on the go lifestyle. Tervis is the original double wall insulated drinkware that keeps your cold drinks cold and reduces condensation. They're backed by a made for life guarantee as well. Tervis is the original customizable double wall insulated drinkware that keeps hot drinks hot and cold drinks cold. They're available in several sizes, including a sippy cup. You've got your wine glasses, both stemmed and stemless, your 10-ounce wavy, 16-ounce mug, 16 and 24-ounce tumblers, and a 24-ounce water bottle. They're made from Triton plastic, made in America, lifetime warranty, dishwasher and microwave safe, and they're BPA free. You got to check TervisPromos.com out. You guys got to go there, check them out, and find out what's happening over at Tervis. So like I said, am joined by three other lovely folks. First, we're going to talk to Wi-Fi Meg. Wi-Fi Meg, Erber, how are you? SNS Activewear.
Why am I Wi-Fi Meg? Because I have every single person in the world on my Wi-Fi today.
Oh no, not only that, but because you have Wi-Fi in your car.
In your car,
you're a little special.
Hey, I got a nice car.
That's kind
when you're in your like office, which was my car for like 8 to 10 hours a day. You gotta have some comfort and some luxury.
Yeah, you're a year late. All right, Stephen McFadden, Perfect Promotions and More. How are you?
Hey, doing great.
Glad to hear it. And if you're joining us live, you can see we are joined today by Jason Nokes of PromoPulse. Jason, how are you today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. Excited to get into today's topics. But before we do, just want to give you, maybe 3 to 4 minutes to sort of talk about who you are, how you got started in the promotional products industry that we all know and love, and then maybe how you came about PromoPulse.
Sure. So I've been in the industry my entire career, which is now probably 27 years. And so I started as a production artist at Staus and on the supplier side, and then moved to TradeNet Publishing after that, also as a production artist. I was there at TradeNet for a while in the graphics department, and around when the internet really took hold, probably 96, 97, I moved over, taught myself how to code, made the TradeNet website, which was actually the first site in our industry where you could order online. So it was a novelty back then. So now it's commonplace, but there was not many places that you could order online, and we were the first for promotional products. And so we had TradeNet had a lot of success with that. They were able to grow rapidly because and with more profitably because they had this online ordering. And we won awards, and we had enough people asking about that. TradeNet spun off Distributor Central in 1999, and so I was the first.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Central, yeah. And so I started there. I wrote a lot of the first generation code at DC, and then the last 8 years there, I was the president. But over that time, we dealt a lot with product information, and we hosted thousands of websites. We had a lot of great stuff going on, a lot of innovation at DC too. But I noticed when we would receive product spreadsheets that the data that we would get on the spreadsheet was not the same data that I saw on social and on blogs and websites. Over there, I saw lifestyle imagery and storytelling and all this great content that, it was great for the sales and ideas and information. But I just wondered if distributors saw it because, on social, it's a mess of your life. And so anyway, that gave me the idea for PromoPulse. And I've always had side businesses when I was at DC. And so my wife and I own a couple hair salons. We had a direct mail marketing company. We had a bunch of different things going on. So running a business was normal for me, especially, lots of businesses. And but I finally decided that, I wanted to try something for, my full attention. And it dawned on me that if I would start a business in my own industry, it might go a lot quicker. So I started PromoPulse last year, and it's been going great. And so we've had all sorts of activity and just celebrated our first year in August.
That's awesome. So PromoPulse, for anybody that doesn't know, is a business service provider. And just go into detail a little bit about what PromoPulse is for anybody that doesn't or isn't already aware of it.
Sure. So PromoPulse takes all the content that suppliers and service providers and PPAI and ASI and everybody, everything that's going on in the industry, brings it all into one spot. And so it's free for distributors to use. We have an app. We have a daily email that we send out, and we have a web solution that a lot of the big suppliers or big distributor groups like Facilis and AIM and ASB, they have a content feed for their back-end system that just includes their preferred vendors. And so it makes it easy for distributors. They can follow who they want in the app, and just to stay on top of information. We send out push notifications if they have those turned on the phone. And so it's just basically however you want to receive and the information, stay on top of what's going on. That we try to provide it. We have the app is super cool, but email is still the most popular thing. And I actually hear the most about the email just because it's there in the morning when distributors wake up, and it gives them, ideas for clients that that they're meeting that day. And it's just great service, and it was something I felt like was missing in our industry, and it was missing for me personally. I had a hard time keeping up with what was going on. So this, I just kind of did it for myself first, and then for everybody else.
So I get the daily digest. I don't know if Meg and Steven, if you guys are getting it, but how does that information come in? Because obviously, I guess I should say, how is the information that's put into the daily digest selected?
Well, it depends. So if you've personalized your experience in the app, so you can go in and follow different, we call them publishers, but that could be suppliers or service providers or whoever else. And so if you've customized your experience, then the content in your email, there you go, is made up of the people that you follow. And so if you don't choose to customize your experience, then we have a thing called featured publishers that, and we'll serve up the content from those guys. And so a lot of great people like Promo Corner and other suppliers that have content. So, but we pull anything that's publicly available that we can find that would be useful for distributors. And we just have this large process that goes out and monitors all these different feeds, and it's Facebook or Twitter or blogs or anything with the RSS feed we can pull in.
So are you finding anything that's trending specifically right now besides PPE? Like, are people looking up, or can you, I don't know, how does that work? If I was really interested in stuff that was sustainable, how do I go about filtering that for my needs? Because I'm only focus on sustainability or something like that. You
can go a couple different ways. One is just a search. And so the search, we're used to search our industry, but this is the only place you can search across all the marketing content. So it's kind of it's different than a traditional product search. It's a entire different data set. And so the first and most obvious is just, searching across everything. We do have some groups inside the app like Promo Care. So, that's maybe not sustainability, but it is, companies that have those initiatives. And so we've tried to prepackage some groups, but it's a lot of times if you have a particular supplier that you use and know are based around sustainability, then you could follow that supplier, and then you'll see that content repeatedly on your app or in email.
So Jason, when you were coming up with the idea for PromoPulse, I look at it as a really simplified way to aggregate all the data coming from a bunch of different, places. Was there a problem that you saw in the industry? Like what was kind of the goal of PromoPulse, and as far as developing it for consumption?
Yeah. So the first problem I saw like I said, I thought suppliers were spending a lot of time making great content that distributors could use to get ideas and to share with their clients. I just and social is great because you can post it immediately, right? But social, per se isn't great for B2B, only because it's a mess. You log in and you have to wade through all the political stuff right now, and just it's just a mess of information. So first and foremost, I just thought that data needed to be in one common place for distributors. And then I also thought there was I won't call it a bias, but it's kind of like your ASI or PPI. And there's these little factions. I don't know, faction may be too strong of a word, but it's like I saw these divisions, and so I thought it would be nice to bring it all into one spot. So because both PPA and ASI have great information, and sometimes you split it by service provider, sometimes you split it by whatever. And so I just thought there was a need to bring everything into one spot to let and be unbiased and available for distributors to consume.
Nice.
That's a wrap.
Listen, I tend to cut in to keep the conversation going, but I want to make sure that you guys all both have an opportunity to sort of chime in as well. So,
well, I do have a question actually, because we were all talking about this pre. So Jason, you put out this list a couple months ago, which was really cool. We'll talk about the list, but I really want to know how you got that data. So the list was what, your top 10 most mentioned or top 12? What was it?
12.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that's basically based on, let's see, the content that was for 200,000 posts over from August to August, last year. And so the coolest thing, the nerdiest thing about that list is I use machine learning to find all your names. And so if you're a developer or no developer, you could write code to do that, but it'd be kind of tedious and complicated. But I just threw it at machine learning, and it spit back all the most popular people. And so,
Wordle. It's like
Pardon?
a Wordle.
Yeah, Wordle.
Where it like makes some of the words bigger, and
I do have an interesting fact. So
okay, Jason, I get it. You're smarter than us. Okay.
I hope Dale Denham's listening.
I was looking
Meg, who was on that list, Meg?
Well, it just so happens that the three of us were on that list.
Yeah.
Yeah,
isn't that funny?
Shocker.
No, I do have a quiz. So I looked at the data again this morning before, and who do you think was the most mentioned non-promotional products person?
Oh.
What but in the industry?
In the last 12 months?
Last 12 months, this is a person that's not in the industry, but was mentioned almost as frequently as you guys.
It could be like Dan Evans, would it be? Because is he considered promo?
Not Dan Evans.
Okay.
So it was mentioned in our industry?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in posts from our industry.
Henry Gracie?
No.
He's in our industry, Meg. Come on.
The president?
But I mean, I don't know. It's a weird question.
It was not the president. You give up, I can tell you.
I give up.
I kind of want one more guess, but I don't know.
Right.
Santa Claus.
Was it really?
Really?
Yes, Santa Claus was almost as high as everybody else. So
Oh.
I thought that was kind of funny.
That's
cool.
cool.
No, I'm as cool as Santa.
It's good to know that there's still some belief in the jolly old Saint Nick.
That's awesome.
We're coming up on that time of the year as well. So hey, look, it's good.
He's going to be trending again. There's the answer to Meg's question. It'll probably be Santa. That's who's going to start trending soon.
There you go.
So I imagine the longer this runs too, and the more data you're able to collect year over year, you'll be able to start to develop like Meg was saying, like seasonal trends or so I mean, now that you have a year's worth of data, is that enough? Like, is that enough to start being able to pre-predict or not really? Or is it kind of depend?
I would say normally yes, but this year's thrown it completely out of whack.
True.
So, when I did searches, when I was looking for other content, it was dominated by COVID and PPE, masks, stuff like that.
Exactly.
So I was hoping for that, yes, but this year's just different.
Fauci, I bet, was in the top 10.
I didn't see him, but he's probably in there.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm surprised it's not Trump.
It's me too.
I guess the president, yeah.
Right.
Good
So
old
Jason,
paint.
I have this mental image in my head. Have you by any chance seen Westworld? Anyone Westworld?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. I've heard about it, but I have not seen it.
So it's all about AIs and robots that are like totally like they look alike, you know what I mean? And the last season, it's all about like now, and they've come to this world, and there's like this main control bot, I guess, like a big circle brain heart of everything, and it kind of can predict that's literally in your basement. I know it. It's basically this thing. It's in your basement. That's gonna be, yeah. Right now it's the size of that Chiefs helmet, but I know, like, you know.
I added that Chiefs helmet just for you guys, by the way. So, and
What's
I know the record's not as good as the Steelers, but we are the reigning Super Bowl champs. So.
You are this year, yes, yeah.
That
But
was added
you're,
specifically for this podcast.
you're only as good as what you've done, this year, though. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
We're almost as good.
I think I just tried to pick up your defense in our league. Hopefully I got it, because I was just getting lazy with that one. I was like, I can't let Jeff win. I just can't.
Yeah. Well, we both took an L again this week, didn't we?
Yeah, but I lost by like 4 points.
I know. So did I. I lost by a super
Stupid.
close margin.
Stupid.
So you're a Chiefs fan then, Jason?
Yeah, I'm actually a bigger baseball fan, but Mahomes dictated that I had to really start paying attention to the Chiefs. He's just too exciting to ignore.
There you go.
And
getting a lot of Steelers love in the comments, just for you. But also want to shout out to Manny from Puerto Rico. It's kind of cool. We're getting some viewers in Puerto Rico. That's awesome. So anyhow, listen, I would also like to just talk, because Meg, since you mentioned the top 12 mentioned people in promo, I was going to ask sort of how you, I guess, comb through that data to collect that, whether or not it was tags or if it's just actual names being popped up.
Yeah, it was just names. So it just
that's awesome.
The machines were able to, they pick out if it's a person or it's an object or whatever. So yeah.
That's
wow.
Really cool.
Just mention. So it makes it so much easier.
I feel dumber every day the technology is around. Like I used to feel smart, like back in like the late 90s and 2000s when I was on the cutting edge of Napster. You know what I mean?
There you go.
And now it's like technology is way beyond me. I can't even fathom.
I was like missing MySpace, okay? I mean, I had this little coded profile, you name it, and now I'm like, how do I italicize something?
Yeah. So thank you for making us all feel dumber.
What's next, Jason? What's next for PromoPulse? What's anything new and exciting? Like what's
I have something really exciting, but I can't talk about it. But
that's the best.
Hold on. You're not allowed to mention it if you can't talk about it.
I can't talk about it. We are testing today, later today, a new, we're releasing to spit out the content a lot faster, and the search is going to be way more amazing. So that's something that's happening real soon. Hopefully it goes smooth. Sometimes it doesn't go smooth. So that's one big thing. And no, we're doing some beta testing and just, I through the process of the last year of talking to suppliers and distributors, and of course I've been doing that for a long time, but for this particular product, I just keeping my ears open and trying to solve the common questions of both sides. And one, on the distributor side, they want content for their customers, right? They want all this, they want a way that they can share this and they can easily get content out to their customers. And then on the supplier side, doesn't want to spend more money on marketing to distributors. So, so I'm one more person they get to talk to, but, so it's trying to take those two things and bring it together. So there's a little tidbit to the new, maybe the next
teaser, a little teaser.
Right.
No breaking news yet. But
breaking news yet.
Since you mentioned that, I would actually like to ask you, talk us through a little bit about like launching this type of business service in our industry and what that inception looks like, and, do you feel like you're starting to hit critical mass, or tell us about like year one, like walk us through year one and sort of your journey.
What a year one it's been too. So,
yeah.
Like I said, through opening other businesses and other industries, it finally dawned on me, maybe I'm not so smart. It's like, duh, if I do it in the industry where I know everybody, it might be a lot easier. And so getting off the ground, I had the idea and the content was already out there. So that was great too. but just knowing people in the industry helped it really take off fast. And so, like, for example, Dan Rochette and Chuck Fandos, I knew them for Facilis, and Dan's retired now, but anyway, he kind of gave me the idea for the feed for Facilis, and having Facilis partner up with me pretty early on gave me a big boost in credibility. And American Solutions for Business was maybe they were first, but those two companies, Dana, I knew Dana Zezo, and so that helped. And so those type of things helped tremendously. And then just, of course, knowing suppliers already. So a lot of my early customers were, friends. And so they helped me get going. Of course, then we fast forward to March, and, everything, went to kaput. And so, I was I dealt with marketing, and I was the newest kid on the block. And so I was very easy to get cut. And so, I spent the week that would have been spring break, in fear of checking my inbox for another cancellation. Then I finally decided just to kind of confront it head on and let people just pause their accounts, defer their payments, whatever they needed to do. And I think it was a relief, because there was a lot of, like I said, a lot of friends that were, I think, hesitant to just, to make that call or send me an email. So 6 months over the pandemic was, the kids were home. It felt like sort of like an extended summer vacation. I kind of actually embraced that, and just, it was kind of nice, it was different, and just kind of realized it was a once in a lifetime, hopefully, opportunity, and so I kind of got back at it in September, and now I'm actually, revenue wise above where I was at before the pandemic. So that's
awesome.
That's, that happened actually yesterday. So
oh, congrats, man.
Pushed above my MRR. But anyway, it's, the technology side, I did have to get help. And so I kind of aged out of coding. What I did in the first generation Distributor Central was server side. Now everything's client side. And so I had to get help.
Jeff's available. He knows all about that stuff.
Yeah. We talked, and ultimately he didn't make the cut. No, but so, the technology side, I'm always been fascinated with technology. And so, so that's exciting. And then now just trying to get things going, and, and thank you for inviting me to this podcast. So every time I have an opportunity to talk about PromoPulse, there's a lot of people still don't know about it. So I wouldn't definitely not say we're at critical mass, but, I looked at some of the stats. We're reaching about 15,000 distributors every day.
Wow, that's great. Wow.
25,000 over the last 90 days. And then that's not including, we also have a partnership with Promo Corner, so we reach probably another 15,000. And so, we're doing there's about 1 million impressions a week.
Wow.
Content, and, a few nerdy stats, like, for example, a post that was on Facebook, I asked a supplier how many views they received, and it was 56, and then a PromoPulse, it was 13,486. So the amount of exposure that we can provide, because we're only promo, it's not just sticking something on Facebook and hoping people
gets lost. Yeah,
right. It's very concentrated, and we send all these emails out every day. So it's really a big opportunity for suppliers. Just to get a better return on their investment, because there's, somebody's spending time creating this content, and it's a lot of great stuff out there. And this just gives them opportunity to actually reach the people they want to reach.
So distributors that don't have the app, or aren't involved, what do they need to do? They need to go get the app, follow you in social. Like, what's the push?
You can go to the App Store, either iOS or Android, or you go to our
preferably
website.
Android.
Or Apple, because who has an Android except for you and Charity Gibson?
This is why you're an Eagles fan and nobody likes you.
I actually have an Android. And I did that because everybody else has iOS.
That's because tech people actually like real tech. They don't like antiquated old tech.
It's literally what VJ says all the time.
I think Meg was rated higher than you on the last 12 poll, though, Jeff.
That's actually incorrect. That was in no particular order, first of all. And second of all, VJ is a very smart man, okay?
Not go that far.
So Jason, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. Yeah, you can go to our website. It's promopulse.io. And so you can learn about it. You can sign up for the email. You can download the app. Basically, all the information's right there. So, and I understand people don't have time to check an app every day. So that's why we have the email. The email is kind of like, here's what you missed yesterday, so you can stay on top of things. And if you really want to stay on top, you can turn on notifications and just it's like a running news feed. So that's pretty cool too.
And then suppliers, same thing, visit you on the website and reach out to you to get their stuff published. Is that?
Yeah. There's a contact information. And so, right now, everything we pull on is free also for suppliers. So we have over 2,000 publishers on there, pulling content. So if you go on there, if a supplier's listening and they check it and we're missing something or contact information is incorrect or whatever, they can let me know. But that's also free too. So we just the thing we charge for, we have a way that suppliers can advertise, and the featured publisher thing I talked about earlier, so they can kind of be higher up on the list, and that's how they can get more traction.
Very cool. So before we do cut out or talk sort of closing topics, I did want to actually just bring into the conversation, because it's pretty fresh. Paul Bellantone with PPAI just put out the Q3 survey results for the COVID-19 impact, and just wanted to see if you guys wanted to run through some of those numbers and sort of, I guess, chat a little bit about what you think of the results.
Yeah,
Does that sound like a good idea?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. Meg, go ahead. I'm gonna nominate you to pull that up and run through.
All right. So I have it up. We'll just start with distributors first, and let's talk about, like, when I go through them, like what we found surprising and maybe not so surprising, or maybe you're just like, nah. All right. So 45% of distributors saw a decrease in sales from Q2 of 2020 to Q3. And was that the one we were talking about earlier, or was it the supplier?
It was the supplier
version, but still, I mean, that correlates. So why are we seeing that? Why are we seeing that huge decrease from Q2 to Q? Okay, Steven, the distributor.
Well, I think a lot of the early dip was offset by people that were able to transition to PPE.
Yeah.
And I think once people then got their PPE, the amount of reorders or need for it decreased significantly into Q3. So it's like if I've already stocked up on, every mask I need, plus backups, plus sanitizers, plus, but I'm still not buying promo. By the time Q3 rolls around, if you're still not buying promo and you don't also need PPE, it's like you don't have anything now. I've heard a lot of that same story from other distributors. They're like, yeah, we're okay in Q2, and then all of a sudden now they don't need the only thing that we could sell. So.
But would you guess when we do the Q4, what would be your guess?
I think it'll be increase from Q3 to Q4.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Personally, that's my
I
opinion.
think a lot of distributors, I mean, just from what I'm seeing, are just really not sure what to do. Like, they don't want to sell PPE. I've been jumping on phone calls with a lot of my customers lately, and we're just kind of strategizing, like, where they want to focus their efforts. So I really feel like
that's the real problem, Meg.
Yeah, yep. You have to. If you're not sure where to direct that focus, just jump on with some of your supplier partners. Let them help you, because we came up with a very an awesome strategic plan for a couple customers. Did like marketing collateral, pricing, samples, showroom stuff to put it all together. So now they have different ways to touch their customers with not only the samples, the marketing collateral. They can come into their showroom. So there's a lot of things. We can't just sit back and expect the sales to come to us. We have to be proactive. I mean, Q4 is upon us, so we really gotta.
I was going to say, so not rebuttal, but I guess what Steven had mentioned from the distributor standpoint, from the supplier standpoint, 30+% of the face mask orders that we're seeing right now are repeat orders. So sort of to go hand in hand with what you had said, Meg, I think there's a lot of distributors out there that they don't want to sell PPE. I'm on the phone constantly every day, all day. And I would say at least 90% of the distributors that I talk to are done. They don't want to sell PPE anymore. But when you look at stats in our industry from Sage and ESP, I mean, we just had John Petty on a couple weeks ago from Sage. Face masks, hand sanitizers, and the likes are still the top searched for items on Sage and ESP. ASI just put out that infographic as well not that long ago about how things have changed in 1 year. ultimately, like, that is what is selling right now. And I think just being frustrated with it is one thing, but letting it hamstring your business or potentially put you out of business is a whole nother topic. Like, if that's what's selling, let's sell it. It's not going to be permanent, but for now, there's tons of money to be made right now.
Yeah.
Tons of money to be made.
And you can't look at this survey result and you can flip it where it says 60% of the suppliers saw an increase in sales. So this is leading with the actually a bigger percentage increasing. So that's a different way to look at it for sure.
It's because they take the entire industry as a whole, and even the apparel, the hard goods, everyone's the supplier. So it's like where one, I'm going to not read every single stat, but I thought it was really interesting that went to say that about 74% of the distributors are not meeting with customers or salespeople in person. And it's 83% of suppliers are not doing it. So I think that's probably, in this world where we can do everything via Zoom, I understand the touch and feel aspect of it, but and I know there is a lot missing out. I think that's why we're doing some of these tailgate trade shows that are outside. And I mean, we're not really seeing people either. We're just not as salespeople. I mean, in COVID, I just saw on Twitter that their non-essential travel from New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and PA is highly discouraged. So it's like, no, SNS doesn't want to put us at risk. Or what if we get it from one guy and then take it to the next guy? Now we're infecting our customers, and we don't want, we're being safe, but still, you got the precautions.
Yeah, I think that's a stat that's we're on the cusp of changing a bit too. Just because a lot of the regionals now are starting to do their shows. Now that these, obviously I don't know when the results of this survey had been finalized, but I know over the last several weeks and in the coming weeks, there are a bunch of outdoor venues or outdoor shows happening. CPPA and camp, you guys just did one, right, Stephen? And then CPPA is getting ready to do one next week. Plus you've got rep associations, in New England that are doing traveling, parking lot shows or trunk shows. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure it's happening elsewhere in the country as well. So it's sort of forcing the regionals' hands to some degree, just to sort of maintain that, that status, if you will, of being the trade show provider in the region. But I think that's gonna change as well. I think that number is gonna drop for sure, just because the shows that are happening.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it might go up with winter coming.
With 83% of people saying they're not meeting, though?
It says in person, right? Is what you're saying?
Well, but these shows are in person.
They are, but it's just like 2 weeks
that'll
worth.
go down.
Yeah, I think it's just this because all the major trade shows have been canceled. I mean, right now there's not even anything really scheduled. I mean, there are.
Until
I guess
March, yeah.
You're right. There are at PSI.
Before we run out of time, I'll give you my observation here, and it's kind of a double dip. So if we can assume the opposite is true about the decrease in sales, right? The 39.3 decrease. So we can assume 60% either stayed the same or increased. And then it says 41.6% of suppliers made no staffing changes, right? So we can assume that 60% did or remain the same. So if you then look at both of those stats, meaning 60% could be increasing, but yet 60% suppliers made staffing changes, that raises the question as to, with the increase in sales, why are we making staffing changes? Maybe that could be they're adding staff. I don't know how that's interpreted, if it's letting people go or adding people, but I'd be curious to know if that's actually letting people go, but 60% of you are increasing. Why? Right? Because that would make me a little concerned.
Well, unless they let them go in Q2 also.
Yeah, and then brought them back, right? So
yeah.
Well, I think it's hard. It's hard. I was just going to say, I think it's hard to really pull anything from that stat because of PPP and everything else. Like, I know
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things, like personally you feel for people, right? When you see something like that, you just assume, there's some bad data, like not bad data, but bad information on the back end of that, right? Like some people may have lost their jobs, and I think it's a tough time, and
that's definitely happened.
Yeah. So
guys, I'm going to lose my professional lighting here. my wife's a videographer, and so
Is
she's
she holding it up? And she's like,
yeah. So now I'm back in the dark. No, her arms are so tired,
no.
so I'm back now. It really looks like I'm in the basement.
Jason,
all good.
Quarantine.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I was here before that too, but
Fair enough. All right, guys. Jason, what do you think? What was your from your observation? What was the most glaring statistic from the Q3 results?
well, like I said, I was really surprised that there was that many distributors and suppliers that had a decrease. You know, I would expect it to go up. You know, especially compared to Q2. So Q2's in the dumps. You know, so that one was kind of scary. You know, from my perspective, just suppliers, you know, coming back, and you know, I'm hoping that this is based on real activity, not hopeful marketing. You know, sometimes I do worry that, you know, for me again, that, you know, I might be on the forefront of people want to get stuff going, so now they're trying, you know, to force stuff to go. But so I don't know, but you both have said sales are up, and I hear that often. I hear, you know, some people say it's been their best month ever the last couple of months, and so I just heard that this morning. So
August was ours.
Yeah, so it's all over the place. You know, there's a lot of pent-up demand probably. We still own one of our hair salons. I know when we opened back up that it was nutso, and so we had our best sales ever. So I don't know. I think it just all depends on. I don't know. It depends, but so you know, I take it as you know, I was shocked by those numbers, but you know, I've heard enough on the opposite of things going up that I feel good. Else does. You know, I get a lot of great stuff in the mail. Lots of swag kits, so that's going strong too. So I'm positive. I feel great. So I think we're gonna do good. We'll make it.
Very cool. So, you know, obviously, you know, the Tervis has added stainless to their well-established line about 2 years ago as well, with the goal of being better than the competition by utilizing state-of-the-art custom 360-degree UV printing. And they're available in 4 sizes: 12-ounce, 20-ounce, 30-ounce, and a 24-ounce water bottle. They got a 5-year warranty, 18.8 copper lined, vacuum insulated, 8 hours hot or 24 hours cold. You should definitely go check them out at tervispromos.com. You won't be sorry that you did. With that being said, do any of you guys have any other closing remarks?
I just want to congratulate Jason on his 2021 PPAI Pyramid Award. What is it called when you get nominated? Nomination?
Yeah, nomination. Yeah, finalist.
Maybe we'll get one day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you. I was excited.
Yeah, congratulations. That's awesome. It really is.
I'm going to make sure we're nominated next year.
Yeah.
Because, you know.
Jay, so we're going to ask you to pull some stats that might help us in our submission for next year's.
There you go.
Sure.
Let me know.
Yeah. Can you help us rig an election?
I will not go there. I will not go there. I have sent my vote. I've already voted, so.
He's like, I can't hear you.
Man, for a tech guy, he's got some technical difficulties over there. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate it, Jason. Thank you so much, man. It was great getting a chance to chat with you and just go over PromoPulse. I also, echo Meg's sincere, just congratulations, and hope that year 2 is better than year 1, and it just keeps going and going, man. I really appreciate you joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Nice talking to you guys.
Absolutely. Take care, guys.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Promo Corner's Industry Insider. For more great content from industry thought leaders, including podcasts, blogs, and videos, visit promocorner.com.